From Ruffino's on Highland Road, welcome to the Friday edition of Live at Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, Charles Sandgriff, Jimmy Ott. Jordan Kinch is back in the studio. Bruce Marshall with us today. Chris Massaro with us today. Michael Baychok, Eclipse Award winning horse racing handicapper, will be with us today on the eve of the Kentucky Derby. So we got stuff to do. Nice day here in the capital city. Barry the bartender's ready for business as we open up here at Ruffino's. Jimmy, how you doing?
This is open, baby. Yes, indeed.
Cool.
It's Oaks Day, Charlie.
Kentucky Oaks. We have picks in the Oaks. We have a lot of different opinions on the Derby. So we'll share all of those.
Wear my pink. I didn't remember to wear my pink today. And you go to the Derby, or to Churchill's today. Pink is the theme. You're drinking the lilies. It's not the mint juleps today. That is tomorrow. It's the lilies.
Okay.
It's a little bourbon and not bourbon, vodka cranberry. So you know that pink is the deal. The Phillies, and man, I was there for, I guess, the Oaks version of Secretariat. It's Belmont. I mean, it was Rachel Alexandra.
Yeah,
what that was something to see. It was something to see. That was the Mind That Bird win, which that was of the 20-horse field, that particular Derby. That was the first horse I scratched out. You gave it absolutely no chance, process elimination.
100 to 1?
About 85 to 1, something like that. Calvin Bow made that rail, and I was,
shortest way around.
My seats were just about 20 yards past the down near the track, 20 yards past the finish line, and just kind of in awe how he won.
Quite fun. My favorite jockey maybe of all time. I love that answer. They say, you have a reputation of getting on the road. Well, shortest way around. I mean, it's I know he made it look easy and it's not, but I thought that was a really good answer.
Well, for novice, and everybody's trying to brush up on their horse racing knowledge this weekend to try and enjoy it more. And we'll try and do that for you today. And that's a great thing about Mike. He speaks in terms where it's not too much jargon, and everybody can kind of follow where he is. One of the big stories is Bob Baffert, the controversial drugging trainer that's had all kinds of success. And I will go out to California tracks, Del Mar, a lot, and he's treated a lot differently in California than he is in Kentucky and New York. Let's just say this. But he makes his return, and a lot of his Derby hopefuls have really not performed. So I wonder if they kind of tightening the screws on him. Does he know that he can't go to Churchill with a drugged up horse? It's interesting because it's some of his Derby hopefuls have not performed like they have. That's the easy connect the dots. That he's making sure this thing is clean and anything he's bringing. And then his horse that he has in a Derby, the worst post position is one. And that's the one he has. So not always the best horse wins in the Derby, because we keep in mind that these horses have never gone this distance,
right?
A mile and a quarter. So none of them gone this long, and none of them have raced in a field with 20 horses. So it's a lot of traffic. They call it tactical speed to try and maneuver smart. Yeah, a good jockey can go a long way. And, jockeys like Irad Ortiz, who has been the top jockey over the last 2 years ago, mostly runs out of Saratoga, in the summer. So New York-based jockey, but he has been phenomenal. And so we'll talk about the dosage index as you're trying to, these horses are bred for this distance, which ones, and also kind of everyone's kind of, these are the developing quarterbacks, Charlie. These are the rookie quarterbacks, and kind of which ones are ready to perform now type of speed, and which ones might be ready later on.
You give a real brief explanation as to why one is the worst post position for the audience, because we just said, hey, you want to be on the rail, it's the shortest way around, but the one post position is the worst. Just briefly, why?
It's a numbers thing. You just crammed your, an 8-horse field. No, one is just fine. Might be the best, but no, in this where everybody's trying to push in, it's just
to the first turn.
Yes, it's a lot of, man, it concerns me sometimes, those horses going at that speed in that first turn in the Derby. It's a lot of traffic, and It's and when they show that field level shot, it's pretty damn cool. And I've had a chance to, like I said, I was, a little bit past the finish line in that Mind That Bird, Rachel Alexandra Derby, and see them. It's that's a cool thing about it. So it's and it's dangerous.
And for that reason,
it's dangerous as well.
For that reason, I've always kind of been of the, since they went to the 20 horse fields, and I don't remember exactly what year that was. I would be just fine if they cut this thing back to 14 or 15.
It would produce more of the odds on fate. It would be more true to form. Because
there's always 5 or 6 horses that are like, man, does this horse really deserve to be in this field? And there is a safety element to it. They don't have the auxiliary gate anymore. I think the auxiliary gate cut off at the main gate cut off at 14 or 15.
I think so.
I was always like, now they've done away with that, and they've got the one big gate now. But I was like, take the auxiliary gate out and let's put the best 14, 15 seems like a better number to me.
What do we do? Just follow the money.
Yeah, of course.
And you're going to tell those 6 owners, oh yeah, your horse is eligible for the Derby.
And it's not that they can't win on the right day. Mind That Bird, you just brought that up. It was the longest shot in the field that year. But there is an element of deserving, and there's a safety element to it. So I would be just fine if they cut this thing back to 14 or 15 horses, which they are not.
It's just in. The Derby is a party.
Yeah.
And so the best way to enjoy the party, well, first have some hookups to some of the parties that are going on around town, but also have an owner's pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way to enjoy the Derby the best. And, and my media pass with the year Go for Gin won. It was Bracco was a big one of the big favorites. Gary Stevens coming from the West Coast, but Go for Gin, won it in a slop. And my media pass allowed me to watch it from the owner's box. And so they're right down near the winner's circle of the bugle boy, and just kind of rubbing elbows with some of them stay put in their areas, as you'll see some of those shots, and some come down to sort of, it's like the family or owner's box. And so it was just people watching. There's a lot of people watching.
Why be rich when you can just hang out with rich people?
There you go. There you go. Why be a millionaire when you can rub elbows with them, huh?
We love baseball, huh? It's a wonderful sport, and sometimes exasperating to handicap. Yesterday's game in the SEC is a perfect example of that. Where use a horse racing analogy. Sometimes you can read the form and you can look at it and you say, okay, well this sets up for this horse to win. This horse, like you said, scratched him off, came up with the maximum effort. Texas had come in as good a form as you could possibly ask for. They had won 10 in a row. They were 19-2 in the SEC. They had a pitcher going who has never in his career given up more than 4 earned runs in a game. They had not lost a game in SEC play in which he had pitched, and they had only lost 1 game the whole season in which he had pitched. On the other side, Arkansas had lost their last 3 series. Zach Root, their starting pitcher last night, had not gone past 5 innings in any of his last 4 starts. His ERA in those 4 starts was 7.1. So, of course, Arkansas won the game 9-0. And Root goes 8 innings, a career high for shutout innings for him, a career high for strikeouts with 11. He only gave up 2 hits and 2 walks. Ruger Riojas, who has been a phenomenal pitcher for Texas this season, had a rough night. He did not get out of the 4th, and a pitcher who had never given up more than 4 earned runs in his life gave up 9. That's just baseball. We say that's baseball. Well, that's baseball. Sometimes the team with the better track record, a lot of times actually, doesn't win. And Baum is a wonderful stadium. I've done games up there. Outside Alec Box is my favorite stadium in the league. The crowd is into it. They are close. It's a wonderful design for a stadium, and they take their baseball real serious up there. It was a great atmosphere. There was over 10,000 in the park last night, and Arkansas took Texas to the woodshed. It should be noted at this point that Texas definitely, they could go on vacation for the next 3 weeks and still be a national seed. 19 wins in the SEC is what LSU's really kind of chasing. We kind of think that that's the number that will guarantee them a national seed. If they get to 19 and don't get a national seed, I'll be very, very surprised. Texas is already there. they could literally lose out. And I don't know if there's some complacency, but it wasn't their best game. Might just be one of those nights everybody has them. So Arkansas wins it easy last night.
Try and give yourself a little bit more credit. Trying to let's dig into it. Besides just that's baseball. That's kind of a cop out. I mean, let's dig into it. I mean, did they not? Was that not an emotional series? Against the Aggies.
Yes.
All 1-run games.
Yes.
I mean, I watched it. I mean, I told you about the A&M. They're waiting for the last out of the last game to be challenged, and they're waiting for it, and their jaws were just dropped. Like, man, did we just lose another nail biter to these guys? And the Texas fans were giddy. I mean, they were. It was a high point. I mean, is the emotional aspect pertained because we certainly situationally handicapped in college basketball and football. But this looked like, when I'm watching last night, I look back and like, well, we underevaluated or undervalued the emotional letdown that Texas was going into, because nothing tells you that was going to. This is as good of a pitcher as there is including his numbers, Riojas, and he got smashed, and they were sloppy in the field. It was a both, and then Zach Root, who had been getting hit 8 innings, 2 hit ball
against Texas.
I mean, 11 strikeouts and only 2 walks.
Yeah.
I mean, he's rot. I mean, he was like that guy that, that nasty lefty that was, pitching for him a year or 2 ago. So I mean, there's no way to prove the emotional aspects of it. We just have done it for a long enough time, and that they exist. I got to believe, Charlie, there was a little bit of that factor going last night.
I think that's part of it, for sure. And I think another part of it is, and we did mention this yesterday, it wasn't enough to get me off the pick, but this is the best team that Texas has faced on the road. It is not it's a favorable schedule, not as favorable as the football schedule, but the 3 SEC teams they had played on the road all have losing records, and 2 of them are pretty bad. Missouri's historically bad, and Mississippi State is 7-14 in the league. And the other 3 games were against Kentucky. They won that series 2-1. Kentucky's below 500 in the league, though they're not a bad team. They'll be a tournament team. So all of that, and you get a 9-0 game.
Palm Stadium or Jazz Festival? Who has more flags? I mean, they got flags everywhere.
They do.
I mean, it looks like a mini Jazz Fest, huh?
Yeah.
Of course, you do it at Jazz Fest where you plant your flag and let you know where your friends can meet you and you kind of hang out. I mean, I get that, but I mean, it's they got to find you at the stadium. Huh?
Yeah,
they love them flags over there.
They do. And what I love about the design of the stadium is the concourse goes foul pole to foul pole, so you can get up from your seats and go to the concession stand, go to the restaurant, and still see the game. It's pretty cozy out there. The left field bleachers are kind of right on top of you, so it's a cool place to watch a ball game.
And just because my son just went through this whole process as well, if you see people like, oh, this graduate, man, there's a lot of kids going to Arkansas. Arkansas is basically you got the grades, and they're gonna waive basically 90% of the out of state fees. So you're basically paying in-state tuition for adjacency states. Right. That is, so the states touching Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and other in Tennessee. So you'll see a lot of kids doing the out-of-state thing because Arkansas is offering the best deal. There's so much new construction of that. They've built new sorority houses left and right. They've created new sororities. Just to give you an idea where it's kind of that graduation season, and you're seeing a lot of kids going to Fayetteville for school.
It's a pretty cool setting.
They actually have seasons.
Yeah,
they have seasons. It's pretty. It's just a little bit of about a 9-hour drive. So it's a little bit.
It gets a little cool in the winter.
Oh yeah. Hey, we're over here at Ruffino's. The Lent is done. But we always have some great seafood items that we have. Either Chef Patrick, who was down at the Zurich doing his thing, and man, doing the short ribs was the dish that they were doing at one of the hospitality tents. He's back over here doing the appetizer feature: smoked shrimp wontons, cream cheese filling with the nam jim ju. dipping sauce. The lamb chops, half rack, New Zealand lamb chops, butternut squash puree with the Steen's cane syrup, streak, toasted pistachios. Our entree features today, the fish is a crispy fried flounder, aromatic rice with crawfish bisque. Suggested wine pairing is a Peugeot Chardonnay out of Napa, and a Wagyu Denver steak with the mashed potatoes, haricot verts, with the Marcella sauce. Suggested wine pairing, a Duckhorn Cabernet out of Napa. In our dessert feature tonight and through the weekend, Bananas Foster's bread pudding here at Ruffino's.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Louisiana-based since 1908 for all your business and personal banking solutions. For any needs, check out the local bankers ready to help you meet your financial goals with competitive rates, great annual percentage yields, and low minimum balances. Talk to one of the local bankers at any Baton Rouge location, corporate, Sherwood Forest, Longform Village, and Bluebonnet. You'll also find home bank locations in Acadiana, New Orleans, the North Shore, Natchez, and Houston. Visit home24bank.com for more information. Home Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com and LouisianaSports.net. Handicap podcast up, available at YouTube.
Been in the trenches with this boy, Delmar, at the Win Sports and Race Book. Let's bring in Chris Becerra. We know he's going to have action on all of this tomorrow. Chris, first of all, where are you hunkering down today and tomorrow for Derby weekend?
Today I'm at the Win. Tomorrow I'm going to be at the Westgate, and the great Paul Bovey will be in attendance tomorrow. So yeah, he had a little sneak attack. He arrived without even telling anyone, and he's in town. So
tell him
the band is back together.
Tell him I said hello for sure. We were all together last time. I think that was for your USC weekend. Were we? Was that Labor Day weekend? We're all betting.
Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
USC LSU game. Yep.
There we go. So one quarterback's projected to be taken number 1 overall. The other quarterback is a backup now. Huh? Who would have known? Leaving the building.
The roulette, the NIL roulette it should be called, I guess.
All right, let's start to today's card. This is going to be right around when I'm pulling into the Beau Rivage today. The 8 Bells, $600,000 purse, 7 furlongs, 3-year-olds on the dirt. Dirt is fast right now. We're looking at an 11-horse field after the one Unchained Elaine has been scratched. What you looking at, Chris?
Well, it's just an interesting race because based on my metrics and everything I'm looking at, most of these horses really want to go to the front. So it's just going to be a super hot pace. You have the main danger, and it's a good favorite. I'm not going to take anything away from it. This horse, the outside Equitant, it's Brad Cox, Louis Saez, the 12 post, which is a great post for a 7 furlong race at Churchill. And he's probably the most likely winner. But because there's so much pace in the race, I'm trying to find a couple of closers to link up with this 12 horse. And the only 2 I can find are 2 big prices. It's the 2 Evanescence, Luan Machado, who's been up-and-coming jockey for the trainer Eddie Keneally, and the 7 Mandela, Bayerano for Chris Hartman. Now, this 7 horse, he's light on class. It's like coming from the AAA to the majors to make his first start. He's only raced 2 times. He came in second in maiden special weight. Then he won his maiden special weight, but he really pulled away late, had a nice gallop out. So that was at 6 furlongs. He's getting an extra furlong in distance, so I think he's going to appreciate it. And with a hot pace, you could have the 2 and or the 7 coming for a big price to go along with the 12. So if you want to play some, exactas or a trifecta or even a super, don't forget to include the 2 Evanescence and the 7 Mandela along with the 12 Equitant, which is obviously they're going to be the favorite, Brad Cox, Louis Saez. So I like some combination of 12 with 2 7. But maybe the 2 and the 7 could swoop the field just due to the fact that it's such a torrid pace up front in this race.
A $2 exacta box with the 3 is $12. You want to do $20. Is that something that you would suggest?
Yeah, you could just throw those in. I mean, if you want to spend $2 exacta box, or if you want to do a $2 box 12 with a 2-7 behind it, because the most likely thing is the favorite's going to win. That only costs you $4 if you're just a small player, want to get a little bit involved today. But I just think there's a good chance that one of these 2 horses, the 2 or the 7, is going to be running late.
Just me. You're a little bit more advanced than me, but I know it's more common for the favorite to come on top of the shot first. But man, it pays so much more if one of these shots pulls it off with the favorite underneath. I mean, way more.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Because many people are just betting the favorite. Yeah,
they don't have the will pays out now, but if you're looking to bet the race, you can see what the exactors are going to pay, before the race takes off. And obviously, if you're getting a 20-1 shot like Evanescence on top of the 12, that's going to pay box cards. So yeah, that's something you can look to do. And if you want to even box a try, it only for $1 box and a try only costs $6.
Yeah.
Maybe you get lucky. Maybe it comes in 2, 7, 12, and then you're having yourself a day.
All right, let's go. We're going to put on a $4 exacta box on this and a $1 try. How about that? Huh?
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
All right. 8 bells. That's race 9 today at there. All right. What do we got a race tomorrow you're looking at Saturday. Let me see, Chris. Is it the Derby City, the 10th race? Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, last year we came on the show and gave out Vava, my friend's horse, Belladonna Racing, Cherie DeVoe, getting Irad Ortiz aboard today. Horse won this race last year. The question is, the horse is off a 6-month layoff, but she's got back class. She's working out great. She had a 47 flat workout the other day, and she looks fantastic. I tweeted out a picture of her coming out of the van the other day. She looks just tremendous. So I'm thinking she's going to sit mid-pack. There's a lot of speed in this race too, and there's a lot of good horses. This is a tough field. I'm not discounting the field at all, but there's a lot of horses that are going to be going to the lead. Copian, the 2, 5, Hall and Ice is going to the lead. The 6, Mystic Lake's going to the lead. You have a Baffert in there, the 12, Hope Road, who's going to the lead. So there's going to be 2 horses sitting mid-pack, Emery, the 9, also Brad Cox, and Vava. And there's going to be 1 big closer. So I'm looking at some combination of Vava, the 7, Emery, the 9, and the long shot I like, because it's, again, the only closer in the race, is Positano Sunset, the 11 horse. This horse is off 2 wins, most recent, the Grade 1 Madison at Keeneland. She's one of the only horses, like I said, that comes off the pace, so she should get a perfect setup with all the speed. And if the race happens to fall apart, you might be getting a big number on the money to come in. So I'm looking at some sort of combination of, like I said, 7, 9, 11. You want to do the same type of thing. You can do exact the box, a little try box, and try to get some big prices in there, because this race is so tough. There's not like a standout favorite. So you're going to get a good price no matter what on your exact as a try.
Chris, you said the Positive Sunset was the 10 or the 11?
He's the 11.
Okay.
She's the 11.
Okay.
Positano Sunset, the
Okay.
11 horse.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 7, 9, 11. Give us a ticket. $2 exacta box?
Yeah, I mean, you could just do a $2 exacta box. It's only $12, and if you want to put a $1 try box together, it's only $6.
Okay.
You know, you're having a lot of fun for less than $20.
And keep, remind people this is it's harder to hit those scores on this Derby weekend because the fields are so full, especially the Derby itself. But I mean, if you do hit, man, you can make a nice score.
Yeah, I was listening to Chris Felico was on VSiN the other night, and he was making the great point that the field is so massive, the pools are so gigantic, that even if the favorite wins, you can make a giant score on a super because there's 14 horses in the field, and just based on the odds, some of them have to be long prices. And once in a while, you get a 50-1 that pops in third. Your trifecta blows up or your superfecta blows up. You just got to get a little lucky sometimes.
I got you. All right, let's get to the Derby and create us a ticket.
All right, so everyone is very high on journalism. I am as well. Horse looks great, working out great, has the perfect running style. The 8-horse journalism is going to be the favorite. So, I mean, it's not great to bet the favorite, but the favorite has come in the money 12 of the last 13 years. So I expect this horse to be other good paces, a lot of speed up front again in this race. He's going to sit in the second pack, make the big run, top of the lane. Should be taking the lead, and he's got to hold off the closer. So what I try to do in my favorite bet of the whole weekend is the $1 super at Churchill, and it's a $1 super. It's not 10 cents. It's not 20 cents. It's not gimmicky. So if you're going to put a big ticket together, it's going to cost you. But I'm going to try to find 6 other logical horses that I think are going to be in the mix. So the one is Citizen Bull. Granted, you're buried down at the rail, but this horse has exceptional speed. It's Bob Baffert. He's going to be going to the lead. So he's going to be out there first. I expect him to have the lead at the first call. So we have the Citizen Bull. The wild card, the 7, Luxor Cafe, Japanese horse is coming in. He's taking a lot of money in the Oaks Derby double, so I expect this horse to be on his game. I think he's going to be a contender. I'm not sure if he's good enough to win, but I'm going to put him in there. The 9, Burnham Square. This horse has been underrated the whole season. The prep races, he keeps upsetting other horses. He's a mid-pack contender. That's the 9, Burnham Square. The 2 closers are Sandman and Sovereignty, 17 and 18. They're going to be the ones closing late. They're going to be the ones that journalism has to hold off. And then yesterday, the other Baffert Rodriguez scratch, so that allowed Baeza, the 21, to pop in. This is a John Sheriffs and Flavian Pratt ridden horse. Has really good numbers, also forwardly placed. another California horse that came in second to journalism in the Santa Anita Derby. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put journalism on top of the
hold
Super.
on. So
I'm going to
go
put
slow.
the one.
Whoa. Slow
Okay,
down.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Slow
I'm going
down.
to put journalism on
It's my
top.
first day
the 8 horse.
at the teller here. Okay. Journalism.
Journalism. Okay, so you're going to go to the window.
Uh-huh.
You're going to go, I need $1 super box.
$1 super box. Okay.
No, excuse me, not a box. Just $1 super.
$1 super.
With the 1, 7, 9, 17, 18, 21.
17, 18, 21.
You have it all. The teller will tell you all the way down. So you have basically you're going to need journalism to win, and you're going to need a combination of those 6 horses to come in second, third, and fourth.
Okay, so you put
journalism. $120.
Journalism to win, and then the other 6, comes in any order, second, third, fourth.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What number's journalism?
And
again?
that costs you $120 for $1.
What number's journalism again?
8.
8. Okay. All right. So 8.
Yeah. So
on top of 179.
It's such a great post. I mean, it's been the winner. The 7 or the 8 has been right there the last few years. Justify was 7. Mandaloon was 7. Medina Spirit was 8. Mage was 8. So it couldn't have set up more perfectly for journalism. The big X factor is now it's supposed to be a washout tomorrow. It's supposed to rain all day. And curiously, none of these horses had to experience any rain as they went up for the, into the prep races. Usually Oaklawn, it's raining a bunch, or Keeneland will rain, but there was no rain. So it's going to be a little bit of a wild card to see what happens if any of these horses take to the wet, or you just never know. So that's the one X factor there is.
All right, track still speed bias, which with that long stretch, a little bit by surprise on the dirt.
Well, I'm so far so good that the rain is holding off. I'm watching the 4th race right now, and the speed does not look like it's going to hold up. The 10 is going to get out sprinted here by the 7, although he is fighting back on the inside. So no, it looks like a little bit off the pace on this day right here. So I mean, we'll see. Tomorrow when it gets wet, that is the one scary thing. When it is wet, sometimes the horses just go and it's a conveyor belt and they don't slow down. So you just got to watch it. You're going to pay attention to the earlier races and see what is speed holding up, or it's closers are coming off the pace. It's just part of another guessing game with all these different horses coming in from different places.
Looks like it has been the past couple of days a little bit more of a speed bias than usual up in Louisville. But again, your $120 super journalism on top of 1, 7, 9, 17, 18, 21. That could pay you. That could be a nice $5 payout, 5-figure payout. So, if
easily, it could. It definitely could.
Easily.
All right. Get the right ones and the right.
So I'll be in contact. You guys, if you get a pick, you and Bovey today or tomorrow. Now, are we getting Bill Belichick New England handicapping bogey, or Bill Belichick North Carolina with the girlfriend handicapping bogey? I mean, what
people are very extremely nervous about this Bill Belichick situation.
Well,
I saw Charles Barkley said he's nervous about it.
Blink 3 times if you need help, Bill.
All right, Chris.
He's developed a $9 million real estate portfolio over the summer. Interesting.
It's a match made in heaven. Hey, man, everybody wins. Everybody wins. Does North Carolina win, though? We'll see. We'll see in the fall.
They're in trouble. All right, you guys, good luck, and
Yes.
we'll hopefully we'll have some winners today.
All right, Chris. Thank you, buddy. Good luck to you as well. We'll be in touch throughout the weekend. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds, and Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings, 296-0060. Full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get when you dial 296-0060. Ashley Bonham Donald, Mariana Broussard Haynes, Adrian Reescolata, Michael Platt, Natalie and Bradford Smith, buying, building, refinancing. Nobody choose but you. Choose Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This is Charles Hanniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine. The new go-to pizza joint in downtown Baton Rouge is Town Square Pizza. Town Square Pizza, located on North Boulevard across from the courthouse, right next to Jolie Pearl, is the perfect in-and-out destination when grabbing a quick workday lunch or visiting local attractions on the weekend. Town Square Pizza, you guessed it, square pizzas are consistently flavored and cooked perfectly every single time. It's as simple as that. Town Square Pizza, downtown.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The official omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. The Chuck Oliver Show, weeknights at 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at Ruffino's Live at Lunch. We're also brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are exactly alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you as well as your business partners, your legal professionals, and your tax team to make sure all of those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you and build that lifetime relationship. That's exactly what they've done for me. Let Philip Fontenot and his staff assist you. 337-981-1376. Online, coastalcapitaladv.com. So advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA, SIPC. SEC baseball this weekend, there's three teams that have an awful lot on the line here in these last 9 games as far as their postseason fate, and LSU plays one of them in Texas A&M. Right now, Texas A&M is projected as one of the last 4 in the D1 baseball projections into the field. It's not the RPI that's the problem for A&M. That's 38. That's inside the bubble, but it's the conference record at 8-13. Now they get Missouri next week. That's good news for them. But to realistically, 12-18 has gotten a couple of teams in over the years, but overwhelmingly, 13 seems to be the cutoff point. So they got to get 5 of the last 9. Even if you give them the 3 against Missouri, and Missouri may back into a win here somewhere, they've still got to perform in this series. So coming off the 3 heartbreaking losses to Texas, they really need to get 2 games in this series. If you remember last year in their run to Omaha, they leaned very heavily on Ryan Prager. They rode him not quite to, I guess, similar to what Ole Miss did with Hunter Elliott when they won the national championship, but he was a top 3-round pick and decided to come back to school, and this year just hasn't been there.
He's been okay.
The ERA in league plays over 6. He just hasn't been nearly as good as he was a year ago. It doesn't mean that he can't. It just means that he hasn't so far. So they're going to run him out tonight against Cade Anderson. And, this A&M team put themselves in a big hole. They came out of the gate 1-9, but then they exploded and won that series at Tennessee after they got blasted in the first game. Liam Doyle damn near no-hit them, and then they just rocked them in the doubleheader the next day. They've also taken a series at Arkansas. This is a team that's way better, I think, or has much more talent, I should say, than what their record indicates. And they need these wins. Wins against LSU will go a long way towards bumping up the RPI and getting them in better shape. So they very much need this thing. They're similar to LSU in that they've got one long guy out of the bullpen. That's Weston Moss. He has 10 appearances in the league. And kind of like Zach Cowan, where you can go long with him. He had a 5-inning relief appearance against Arkansas. He had 6 shutout innings against Kentucky. So if he gets into the ball game, they feel pretty good. This is why a lead tonight in the middle innings. Once you get to the 5th or the 6th, both of these teams have long relievers that are very, very good. A&M at home, obviously, coming off these emotional games against Texas. Texas had the emotional letdown last night. Part of why they lost, I don't know. Zach Root was really good, too. We'll see how they react to the losses, all by 1 run last week to Texas. The other 2 teams that really need these wins are Mississippi State and Florida. Florida is against South Carolina this weekend. The Gators, like Texas A&M, are 8-13, and like Texas A&M, the RPI is not the problem. In fact, Florida's RPI is all the way up at 19. But again, an 8-13 conference record. You need to get to 13. 3 games against South Carolina, who's the second worst team in the league. They need these games against South Carolina because unlike A&M, who next week gets a scheduling break against Missouri, Florida's got to go to Austin next week and play Texas. So that's a pretty tough chore. Tonight's game, I think Florida's got the pitching edge with Liam Peterson against Brandon Stone. Peterson's been pretty good in his last 3 starts. Florida's won all 3 of them. Which Brandon Stone are you going to get? Stone's ERA for the season is right about 5. Last few games have been so-so with the exception of the game against Ole Miss. The game against Ole Miss might have been one of the top 3 games pitched in the league this season. He had a complete game against Ole Miss. He only gave up 2 runs, and they ended up winning the game 3-2, so they needed every bit of it. Outside of that outing, Stone's been pretty, I would say, mediocre to a little bit below mediocre. So I give Florida the edge in the pitching matchup tonight. And then tomorrow, South Carolina is throwing an opener. So the pitching edge goes to Florida in this series. Neither team has announced a Sunday starter, but the first 2 definitely go in Florida's favor. They need these wins. I would say they need these wins maybe even more than Texas A&M because they don't have Missouri on the horizon. The other team that really needs these wins this weekend is Mississippi State. They go to Kentucky, which is a sticky place to play. Terrific pitching matchup tonight between Pico Cone and Nate Harris. The freshman right-hander for Kentucky has been really good. Cone I think is going to be a high pick in the draft. The whips are just an eyelash over one for both of these guys. So I think you got a really even matchup tonight. The rest of the weekend, the pitching matchup goes to Kentucky. State is listed by D1 Baseball as one of the first 4 out, and that's 7-14 conference record. It's an even steeper climb than for Florida and for A&M. So Mississippi State wants to keep their postseason hopes alive. A couple of wins against Kentucky, who's got a top 30 RPI, would go a long way towards doing that. The other games this weekend, Auburn is at Tennessee. Both of those teams are safely into the tournament. Tennessee, probable top 8 national seed, or potential top 8 national seed.
How about Auburn, huh? They're back, huh?
Auburn's not bad. Sam Dutton has been a huge surprise to me. I watched him pitch here. I thought he was a good pitcher. I thought he was a very nice bullpen arm. But I'd never thought of him as a Friday night starter, and he's been really, really good. He shut LSU down.
What's going on, man? The Auburn, Alabama, great basketball seasons. Look pretty damn stable, for the future with Pearl and Oates, and now this baseball. And we know they've been there. They've had some really good teams and stretches, but been down for a while.
They have,
collectively.
Dutton he's been a dude. I mean, the ERA is under 2.5. This is one of the best pitching matchups in the country tonight. Sam Dutton and Liam Doyle, and Doyle is a probably top 12 pick in next year's in this summer's draft. LSU saw him last week. They got 1 hit off of him in 6 innings. That's a great pitching matchup tonight.
Former Tennessee star Dorlander, he shut down the Braves, beat Chris Sale. 2-1.
That's right.
Beat them 2-1. I mean, where they couldn't, and they won again last night to break up the Rockies 2 in a row. That'll make the bookmakers smile. So
the rest of the thing, a nice pitching matchup in Norman tonight with Hunter Elliott and Kyson Witherspoon.
The now and used to be. Huh?
Yes, yeah. Elliott, boy, God bless him. And we've seen this happen to pitchers where they come back from major injuries, and this was a 2-year injury for him, and they're just not the same. He's
How
still
many years ago did Ole Miss win it?
3.
So 3 years ago, he was the best pitcher in the league.
Yes.
Now the kid from Oklahoma is now the best pitcher in the league.
That's right. Back to the future kind of thing. And Elliott's not bad. He's just nowhere near the dominant arm that he once was. Alabama and Vanderbilt, pair of 12-9 teams. They're both safely into the field. And the other series, Texas and Arkansas will play game 2. We already talked about game 1. And Georgia is at Missouri. Is this the weekend that Missouri gets one? Just one. 0-21 in SEC play. We gave you this stat last week.
It's a Georgia money line.
Oh gosh, I have to look. I forgot to even look this morning. I'll get it for you in a second. The Missouri Tigers are going to have the worst 30-game record in the history of the Southeastern Conference, and they're going to probably do it by multiple games. No team that's played 30 games has won less than 6. They're not going to get anywhere close to that. 4 in a 26-game schedule for Alabama years ago is the lowest win total ever. I don't think they're going to get to that. The question now is, are they going to bagel this thing? Are they going to go 0 for 30? We'll see. So that's the weekend in the SEC.
Speaking of baseball, again, I've got 1 is my over/under in Missouri. Is conference wins this year, so I think 1-29. I think we'll see.
That's probably the chalk.
Don't forget our friends at Total Diamond Performance. Speaking of baseball, youth league, and you're right in the heart of tournament season, and getting her out of school not too long ago. If you got more time, you want to try and fine tune your skills. Hey, got all kinds of different lesson options. Matt Mastretta and Nick Snyder. They specialize in in hitting an infield play. You can do a 45-minute session, 60-minute session, 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, and break it on down. You can go to Cole Foray, who does pitching, catching, hitting, and infield play. Jacob Doyle, who specializes in pitching. So, again, 1, 2, 3, multiple players at a time, or you just want to do individual lessons. Best way to check it out, go to their website at tdpbaseball.com. It's a breakdown of all the different specialists from hitting, pitching, infield, fielding, and everything like that, and different rates that they have. They're on Burbank and Bluebonnet. Total Diamond Performance, tdpbaseball.com.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency. Lower your monthly bills and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
We are here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
We are here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
He's suspended play at the Byron Nelson. Right now, Scotty Scheffler out on the lead at 12 under. He shot a cool 61 yesterday. He got through 9 holes before it started raining in Texas. So Sam Burns is at 3 under par. He was 1 over when play was suspended today through 7 holes. Found a Georgia line, didn't you?
Huh?
You found a Georgia line, didn't you?
Yeah.
Missouri.
Minus 6.5 runs.
Minus 6.5 runs, which that surprised me last week. Because
minus 1,600 on a money line.
Wow. So you got to lay 6.5 runs, and you still got to lay 6.
No. Either or.
Oh, either or. Okay.
Yeah. Minus 6.5, minus 15, which I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on the road.
They've been run ruled in roughly 10 out of 21 games.
Georgia can hit, right?
Yeah. They've been run ruled in roughly half their games. Their run differential is right at 8 runs in 21 league games. Their athletic director, I give him credit this week, said, Captain Obvious said, we have not put enough resources into baseball. A lot of the teams in the most of the schools in this league are very, very heavily invested in their baseball programs, and we have not done a good enough job.
Last week draft night, we got the Oklahoma ace at plus $2. That's gone. He's minus 220 tonight against Ole Miss. This is at the Queen, and the number 1 team in the country, Texas Longhorns. Arkansas is a $2 favorite tonight.
They got
the number 1 team in the country.
We get catching money last night with Texas didn't do us any good. Bruce Marshall, when we come back here at Ruffino's 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988, a hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, fillet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, fillet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no 2 situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Text Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Now that it's cooler outside, this is the perfect time of year to get new windows, doors, and siding by calling me, Tommy, from Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. So set up your free quote today at gotommys.com. That's GEAUX Tommys.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. He's out there somewhere in the world. Maybe even your local sports book.
Can anybody help us?
Let's bring in Bruce Marshall.
All right, Brucey, as we bring Brucey in right now, they are on race number 5 at Churchill Downs today. You see a lot of the pink. It is Oaks Day. That's right. Of course, the Derby is the top 3-year-olds race. This is the Oaks is the top 3-year-olds for fillies. So Rachel Alexandra, Zenyatta, some other famous ones that have come through this race. So we will see that one a little bit later on today. That caps off the Friday action at Churchill Downs. Brucey, you been to the Derby? You usually go to Belmont.
Yes, sir. No, I've been to all of them. I only went to the Derby once in '94, and it was raining. Although it stopped, I think, right when the race started. But it was a rainy day, and the track was off. And that's Gopher Gin one, and that's
I was there.
Tabasco Cat.
Yeah,
you were there too. Yeah. Tabasco Cat didn't take to the off track that day. He won the next 2, but he didn't win it at Churchill Downs. But it was rainy during the day, and I can remember walking. Well, people I saw, luminaries I noticed there. Tom McMillan, you remember him, the center for Maryland, and
right,
in the
Bullets, right?
And Joseph Jackson, Mr. Michael's dad. I saw him there, but just wandering around.
Charlie, you should remember Tom McMillan. He was a Superstation player. He was with the Hawks.
He was with
the
Hawks,
and then he became a senator or something.
He was with the Bullets, I think, the Washington Bullets for a while. Yeah, I do remember.
He was a congressman.
Yeah,
congressman. He became a congressman. Yeah, and the Joseph. Yeah, so I mean, that's God. I can't believe 31 years ago you were there too. Yeah, we're probably still wet from that.
I remember that you just wanted to stay off the rail, and what does the California horse do? Bracco, he goes on the rail, and it was like he hit quicksand, and he was one of the top choices, and never amounted to much. But yeah, Gopher Gin with to help me out. Nick Zito was the trainer.
Yeah.
And the jockey, was it McCarran?
It might have been McCarran. I got to double check, but it might have been McCarran. Yeah.
Let's see. I'll
have to check on that though.
Yeah. So anyway, what's your thoughts on the? Well, let's start off with your favorite town to kick, and that's the Lakers. Have you lost sleep since they've been eliminated in 5 in the first round of the playoffs?
Yeah, I've slept like a baby since then. It's good good news here. Interesting there the way this thing kind of sort of unraveled for them. And I think some of the criticism in JJ Redick is warranted, although I wonder if he and Pelinka are seeing on eye to eye. I think there's a little disconnect there, but I don't expect LeBron to walk away. Though I mean, he's a little hesitant to commit for another year, but he's to that point in his career where it's a 1-year deal now, I think, for him. And really, they're still banking a lot on him. If he decides not to come back, it's a major option. Some things have to go there. Luka could still opt out. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could if LeBron doesn't decide to come back. And that the roster needs some showing up. I mean, they need some more depth. They need a mobile big to help them out some, and the Wolves just expose some of those flaws, and that's a hot team right now, and I guess that's nobody you'd want to face. Minnesota's really on a roll.
You think Minnesota can make a run?
I think they could. I think I like when they added Julius Randle. There's a little more, I don't know, a little more maturity, I think, about him than Cat. And I know Cat's good and all that, but I like just the demeanor, and I think he brings a little bit more of a settling influence to them. So that, if him and Gobert's been around now for a good while, so there's a little bit more of a nice mix, I think, of some responsible veterans there, along with Ant and some of these, like Shaq calls them the others. Jaden McDaniels had a few really nice games in that series, so they're going to be a handful going forward. Yeah, they could be a threat, sure.
Yeah, so you're putting a bar pretty low. You're talking about more stable than Karl Anthony Towns. So I mean, it's just
yes, that's true.
I don't know, but I mean, was he any different than Rasheed Wallace before Larry Brown calmed him down with the Pistons?
Not as many technicals as Wallace used to lead the league in technicals every year. I don't see where he's done that.
Oh, but he's
got maturity issues.
He's all over the place and a great talent. I mean, he's a big old dude that can shoot, man.
In the game, when he disappeared in that fourth quarter, that was the game that they lost at the Garden. And I think it was it game 2?
Game 5. Game 5.
No, the one where he didn't shoot in the fourth quarter.
No, that was game 2.
Game 2.
Yeah, game 2.
Yeah. Bruce, I'm curious about Giannis and where he may end up. Given the Lillard injury, it looks like a possible reset in Milwaukee. We've got a local tie-in here because the Pelicans have some Bucks draft capital left over from the holiday trade. Do you think he's going to leave Milwaukee? And if he does, what makes sense? Where might he end up?
I am worried that he's going to end up with the Lakers. Now, this would have to be probably post-LeBron, but I think the league would like to have him in a high-profile spot, and they really couldn't fit him with LeBron and Luka in there salary-wise. It wouldn't work. But if just in case LeBron leaves and retires, I would worry about that a little bit, just because I don't like the Lakers. I don't want to see Giannis there. But this looks like it's heading. I mean, Giannis and his people have been pretty, low key about this here, but you've got to believe that this thing is heading for a breakup at some point. It might not be immediate. It might be a year or even 2, but I am thinking by 2027, he'll be somewhere else. It could be before that. And if it waits another year, maybe he ends up with the Lakers. I don't know. The league, they have some funny ways of doing things, and these guys seem to end up in LA a lot. That's what I'm worried about. But I do think, it's gonna end in Milwaukee. And by the way, Doc Rivers, I'm not sure. I mean, that Adrian Griffin's got to be laughing somewhere in the background because moving him out and Doc in, that didn't exactly work for the Bucks. There were some injuries, I know, but still, Doc was not the answer to get them back on top.
There was a trade that was posted online. I think this was Fletcher Mackel down in New Orleans. It was interesting. It was a 3-way trade between New Orleans, Houston, and Milwaukee that sent Giannis to Houston, Zion Williamson to Milwaukee, and a package. There was a lot of pieces to it, but the bulk of it was Zion to Milwaukee, Giannis to Houston, and Sengun, Jabari Smith, and Reed Shepherd, and some package of picks to New Orleans. And there were some other pieces that were in that. I don't know if that would work. That would be a pretty big blockbuster deal, but it would give Houston the superstar that maybe they need to make a run at a title. It would give New Orleans a fresh start without Zion, and it would give Milwaukee a chance to latch on to a potential superstar if he can ever stay on the court. So I don't know. It caught my attention.
Intriguing. Yeah, we'll see.
All right, Brucey. What about some of the games that we have left? We got one tonight and one tomorrow night, and so you've got an opinion on either of these two games in the Western Conference?
Yeah, Jimmy. Last week we were talking about how all these unders were hitting in the first week or so of the playoffs, and now it's kind of turned around, and the overs are clicking now. It's 11-4 now, the last 15. So that has changed. And a real reflection of that was Game 5 Houston Golden State 2 nights ago, when the Rockets, 76 points in the first half. They really pushed the pace. And it's interesting the way that they're doing it now, because Jalen Green he's only had one good game in this series. He's had 4 games of 11 points or fewer, and that one of 38. It looks like, Fred VanVleet, who is the senior guy there, he's got a championship under his belt. He's sort of taken charge of this whole operation now, and he's pushing the pace. He's getting some help. Thompson and Brooks both scored over 20 the other night. They really forced the pace, and that game ended up 246, 247. It's still got this total around 204 tonight. I think this one goes over. The Warriors will try to slow it down some. I think they probably get there. I'm not sure they can cover this 5.5, 6, but I would look over first in that one. Tomorrow, boy, this has been a great series with the Clips and Denver, and I'm going to stick with the Clips because I went out on a limb a couple weeks ago and said this is the team that's going to come through the West. I mean, it's looking a little shaky now, but I think they can go in there and win, and they're going to need Harden to play as good as he did last night. Harden had a couple of off games there in games 4 and 5, but they're going to need him. Kawhi, I think, is up for it, and Powell. Zubac still played. He makes the Joker's had a couple of good, really good games in this series, but man, he's got to work hard for everything. Yeah. Zubac is a good matchup against him. I think the Clips get him. They've won there, and they've got they got a little swagger about them. They won that game at Golden State at the end of the regular season, and I still wonder about the Nuggets' depth. Although Russell Westbrook does give them a charge off the bench. You noticed how the bench scoring went to nothing those couple of games Russ missed. Yeah. So I might go Clips, and I might go over again. That game went over last night too, so I think that's sort of the pattern we're seeing late first round in the playoffs.
All right, so they're going with the Clippers on the road there. It's been a good one, and looks like Joker was kind of pacing himself a little bit, maybe saving a little bit in the tank. You're talking about Houston Golden State. There's no doubt that VanVleet, the last 2 games, has really taken charge. Even in a tough loss, he was outstanding, in San Francisco and then at home as well when they jumped out to the big lead and coasted pretty much the entire time, even with the backups for Golden State kind of getting it back close to double digits, within double digits, but not quite. So, Brucey, in Major League Baseball is what? Am I looking right here? Do the Detroit Tigers have the best record in all of baseball at 20-12? Nice. Even Casey Mize got hit up a little bit last night, but the bats came alive against the Angels bullpen as they turned that 4-2 deficit into a 10-4 win. But top of the lineup, not bad with I'm drawing a blank. The Cy Young Award winner, Flaherty, and Casey Mize.
Yeah, I mean, he's going tonight, and I invite anybody to look at Reed Detmer's stats the last 2 nights for the Halos. His ERA, if I'm not mistaken, the last 2 nights is 243. The last 2 nights. I don't know how Ron Washington sent him out to the. You heard me right. 243 is his ERA the last 2 nights, if you can believe that.
And Bruce, watching the game, it was just a matter of time before they touched him up. I mean, it was. Yeah. It was shaky. Charlie, 200 ERA is not good.
No, it's just north of, just south of infinity, I think. You don't get anybody out. You go 5 runs.
Do they maintain that lead in the division?
Well, I think they Detmers. I hope he doesn't do that again. He might. Who knows? They may throw him again. I like Detroit tonight. I'll do it on the run line. And by the way, I think the Angels are worse than the White Sox now. I think they have lost 6 straight, 8 of 9, 13 of 16. Trout is now on the injured list again. The pitching staff is falling apart. This is a horrible team. The GM should be fired, but he's a yes man for Artie Moreno. It's a bad situation. There's Scooble run line. It's laying a 105 on the run line. Heck, let's just go with Detroit on the run line there tonight. One other one interesting to me, the Orioles showed a little bit of life this week against the Yankees, but still, I mean, they had lost 6 of 7 prior. We talked about their struggles in the rotation thus far. Kramer goes tonight. He's been one of the guys, been the worst culprits. His ERA is north of 7. And how about the Royals? All of a sudden, they've turned things back around. The schedule helped them out a little bit. remember last year they started quick because they played the White Sox a lot in April. This year is a little tougher, but now they picked up some momentum here the last week off a sweep at Tampa Bay. They only allowed 3 runs down there in at Steinbrenner Field over the 3 games, 8 of 9. Waka off of a 6-inning shutout stint last Saturday versus the Astros. They're getting a plus price in Baltimore tonight. They're still overvaluing the Orioles. I don't care what happened against the Yankees. I still think they got some questions. So I'll take KC and Waka tonight at a plus price at Camden Yards.
Yes, indeed. Seattle's got a lot more punch in their lineup this year. I think they are going to be the team to beat. I got Seattle to win that division there. I got Detroit to win the division there. Cleveland is exceeding my expectations. Yes, indeed. Kansas City, Tampa Bay had been hot, man, and came back home. And Kansas City, as a dog, won all 3 games. I swept them down at Steinbrenner Field. So really good stuff there. Bruce, great stuff as always, man. We will continue. Real quick, in hockey, anything that you really like before we let you go?
I'm riding the Blues tonight. I know
Okay.
it didn't work the other night, but they've won 14 straight at home. I'll take them there. By the way, I'm cheering for Burnham Square tomorrow because I want a gelding to win the Kentucky Derby and him to keep racing and not just go right to stud because he wouldn't go to stud. So that's my pick, although watch for Cole Battle if it rains because he's a good munter. We'll see.
All right. Thank you, Brucey. We'll talk to you next Friday. Great stuff as always.
Okay, boys.
All right, don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance. Yes, indeed, it's hot now. So, our motto, service today, every day. That means you'll never sleep hot. Call today, get service today. Call 480-1000. We're factory authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Dakin, Ream Products, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. My buddy Lucas Ragusa and his great staff, they're busting their tails out there. They're going to make sure you never sleep hot. Breaks down? Call today, 480-1000. Total Maintenance.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana.
Jimmy just sent you Michael Baychuk's number. That's
No,
here.
he already did it.
He did it before? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Highway and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Patial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill.
Michael's on.
So what?
I said Michael's on.
Okay, thank you.
Friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soups, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. Total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy's Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Henniger. For total maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Ruffino's live at lunch. Kentucky Derby tomorrow, and we bring in Clips Award-winning handicapper Michael Baychog. Michael, good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm great, Charlie. How are you?
Doing good.
I'm ready, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Vamos.
Jimmy's busted out the gate already. He's they gotta go reel him in and bring him back.
Michael, you do such a great job of sort of resetting what the industry's going into. I mean, you tell me, but what besides the return of Baffert, and maybe some of his, are they cleaning him up a little bit? Is he? I mean, what's going on? Because some of his contenders or his Derby hopefuls haven't had the smooth path that we've seen in the past. But just get us caught up, as you do annually, on where we are with the scene as we approach Derby Day.
Well, Bob Baffert is back. He served a 2-year ban. He's back. He brought 2 horses, one of whom has already scratched with a foot bruise, quarter crack, whatever you want to call it. The vet scratched him, so he's left with 1 horse. But, you never want to count Bobby Baffert out. And it's Citizen Bull on the rail, who will more than likely go to the front. So you have you have Baffert back. You have now also Todd Pletcher, who had an entry with Grande this morning, was also scratched. And this, I believe I read this right, this is the first time in almost 20 years that Todd Pletcher, who is 2 for 63 in the Kentucky Derby, will not have an entry in the Kentucky Derby. So we got a little, shakeup going on, Jimmy. We got trainers that have won it before, who are back from suspension. We got one that's had horses in it for 20 years, and then we got another trainer who everybody seems to feel, that he's the best in the country at winning the most Grade 1 races, and that's Brad Cox. And he has never won the Kentucky Derby, and he's got 1 shot this year in Final Gambit. So that, to me, all spells out like a wide open Kentucky Derby, which is usually the case, but this year it seems to be much more the case.
Gotcha. Those are the known commodities. It's like if you think college basketball, there's turnover in personnel. The coaches who you identify with, it's even more of a case with the trainers. With the the owners change. I mean, the jockeys are a little bit consistent, but it's the trainers. That's why Baffert. I mean, those are the consistent notables, the characters that we have in horse racing. But boy, Baffert, little karma drawn to the one slot, and explain why that's the least coveted spot in this in the Derby.
Right, it is. It's like welcome back to the big leagues, Brooke. I mean, you draw the 1 hole, but it's not as bad as it used to be with the brand new starting gate, which is a one size fits all. In other words, every horse gets in the same gate. As used to be, there was like an auxiliary gate, so they had to put the starting gate way down close to the rail, and so when you were in the one hole, you literally were almost like running into the rail. I mean, you had to like go to your right to get off, and now there's a pretty good gap between the rail and the starting gate, so it's not as bad as it used to be. But if you're a horse that wants to run up front, which is what Citizen Bull does, and he won up front winning the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, you really have to go. You gotta like go out of the gate. And there's a bunch of other horses this year as opposed to previous years that also want to go. So the way that I've handicapped the race this year is there's almost no way that you can not expect a very fast pace, but not only a fast pace, but a very contested early pace. And so I've handicapped the race looking for horses that won't be close early, but will be, more further back and have a later run to catch that early speed. Not because they're running so fast, but just because there's going to be so much traffic up front, and horses that run up front just don't like to have other horses up front with them. They like to run by themselves.
What do you make of what's happening now at the track where speed is holding, especially with this long stretch that we have at Churchill Downs? Anything to that?
I mean, I don't think that's not going to play into unless it turns into a sloppy track and every horse is winning that's on the rail, maybe so. I think the bigger thing to consider is, again, when a horse wants to go to the front, and he does, he's usually by himself or herself. And that creates a relaxed atmosphere for that horse, regardless of how fast they're running. Well, when they go to the front and there's other horses that also are up there, they're getting pressured, and it creates a pressured scenario where those horses are going to expend too much energy too early, and they won't be around at the finish line.
Dosage index, how much of a factor with this field? I got it. Come on.
I don't know. I will plead ignorance and say I do not know. I used to be the biggest dosage index person ever, but I think that edge, as they say in gambling, has evaporated.
Okay.
You want to explain what that is for people that are
it's got to do with the
breeding,
because these horses have never gone this long of a distance. They're in the upper swing of the. Let's make a comparison. Maybe like a senior quarterback in high school, maybe a true freshman quarterback in college, kind of the developmental stage of their career. There's a lot to try and figure out, and it's a lot of projections based on bloodlines. Help me out to fill in the blanks for me, Michael.
Yeah, no, it's like asking a world-class track star who normally runs
100,
400 meters to all of a sudden run 800 meters against other world-class, so you just don't know who's got the stamina to go that extra distance. And really, I know it's only like an eighth of a mile longer than what some of these horses have gone, but that eighth of a mile is like doubling the distance. It is a treacherous extra eighth of a mile for horses. And so we don't know, who has that stamina to go that extra distance.
Charlie, you heard it. Mm-hmm. You and I do not have the dosage to go the 800. No. Okay. All right.
I have the dosage to go to 400.
Bob Mahoney, though, no, he can roll. He's got the dosage. So anyway, let's. You want to get to your ticket? You want to take a break? How about we take a break and come back and let's make a ticket for our listeners?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we'll take our time out. Don't forget, we're live over here at Ruffino's, and don't forget, Monday is Cinco de Mayo. Now we're going to be doing our show at Modesto for Cinco de Mayo. So they got all kinds of festivities set up around the corner at Los Reyes. They've got live music like 5, 6 p.m. For Cinco de Mayo. So it's kind of like we're going to do our little thing, rotate around. And so, hey, keep it on your calendar. Cinco de Mayo is this Monday, and we'll certainly be taking part. So we'll be doing a show live at Modesto. And of course, our friends over at Los Reyes will be having a lot of festivities as well. You make the rounds as well. Come on by and see us. Cinco de Mayo, Monday, as part here of Live at Lunch.
Live at Ruffino's, Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Louisiana based since 1908 for all your business and personal banking solutions for any needs. Check out the local bankers ready to help you meet your financial goals with competitive rates, great annual percentage yields, and low minimum balances. Talk to one of the local bankers at any Baton Rouge location, corporate, Sherwood Forest, Longform Village, and Bluebonnet. You'll also find Home Bank locations in Acadiana, New Orleans, the North Shore, Natchez, and Houston. Visit home24bank.com for more information. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Bayou Ford powers the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Watch us live daily. Find what you missed on demand and subscribe to each show's channel to get notified when we go live or new videos arrive. Plus, discover exclusive YouTube broadcasts you can't find anywhere else. From AFR to OTB and everything in between. It's the Watch 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel powered by Bayou Ford.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Now, Michael, Charlie and I just discussed it too. All the OTBs in Louisiana are pretty much done. Is that right? Like Port Allen, Covington, LaPlace, are those done?
I don't know that to be true. I don't go there anymore.
Okay.
I thought the LaPlace was open. I think there's one in Henderson that's still open.
Okay.
But I don't know that to be true. The
Okay.
Covington one, yes, I think might be close.
So Jazz Fest, you can't go to the fairgrounds, I bet, right? That's shut down.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So, but you got 3 sports book race books in. We're going to Beau Rivage. You've got the Palace, and you've got the Scarlet Pearl as well down there. But then in Louisiana, it's on the app. Mississippi doesn't have an app. You can't bet on the app, but you can. There's 3 race books down on the coast. So Charlie was just asking. All right, let's create our ticket here. Let's go. What are we doing? $100 bankroll, 50. What are we doing with?
$100 bankroll. Okay, I like to bet a little to win a lot. So I will take a big swing and make a $1 trifecta box.
$1 try box.
This is going to cost $60. So you're going to use Final Gambit, the Brad Cox.
That's what number?
You're going to use 3.
Number 3, Final Gambit.
I don't know these numbers. I'm sorry.
I got them. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Publisher, not publisher. I'm sorry. Journalism.
8.
Burnham Square.
9.
Luxor Cafe.
Hold on. Burnham Square.
Burnham Square is 9, I believe.
Yeah. Yes. Number 7.
Luxor Cafe.
Okay.
And Chunk of Gold.
It's 19.
19.
It's a good name for a horse.
Chunk of Gold.
Chunk of Gold. That's a good name for a horse.
Is that 5?
19.
That's the 5 horses. Yeah.
Okay, that's your 5 horse box. That's $60. Now if that hits, that's guaranteed to pay $5,000.
Yahtzee. Come on.
Gotcha. All right.
Yes.
Then I would do probably $12 to win on Burnham Square, Final Gambit, and Luxor Cafe.
So on the 9, the 3, and the 7. Okay.
Yep,
So that would be another 36. So yeah, we did 96. Cool. All right. So the dollar try box.
And my 3 win bet horses would be Luxor Cafe,
Right.
Final Gambit, Burnham Square.
Right. So the 3 win horses, so $12 to win on the 3, the 7, the 9. And then a dollar try box, which is $60. 3, 7, 8, 9, 19. Now I am relaying these to Matt. He is going to post them on our website, louisianasports.net. No, Michael, you just don't understand. I mean, they're giving me my coffee at CC's this morning. Okay, good. Can you give me your Derby picks? Come on. I mean, it's just. I mean, everybody wants to bet the Derby. It's Americana, man. Shoot, everybody's got $100 and wants to put it out there. So, it's.
I think last year we had I gave out Forever Young. I'm pretty sure on the show, the Japanese horse.
Right.
And he got beat a nose and probably should have won. And I think he was probably, I don't know, was he 8 to 1, 10 to 1, something like that? So the Luxor Cafe is my nod to Karma, and that's the other Japanese horse this year, who looks great, by the way. But I think he's going to be a little short in odds. I mean, my top selection, Final Gambit, the 3. Brad Cox, I think, gets his first Derby this year.
Oh, he hasn't won a Derby. Okay.
Yeah.
And
nice price, 30 to 1 in line.
Okay, he actually has won a Derby, but it's by disqualification, Mandaloon, and I don't want to go there.
Gee, why?
That was such an ugly story. God, that was an ugly story.
Oh, shoot. All right, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you over at spending the weekend with you over at the, of course, I only hang out on Derby weekend with Eclipse Award personnel, Charlie.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
I got it.
All right. So tell
Bob Mahoney.
So tell little Chip, sit back. Come on, little Chip. We're going to Mahoney's tonight. Let's do our thing. So Jick Jack will be, taken care of down at the Beau Rivage. So looking forward to it. Great stuff, Mike. Anything you want to add on before we let you go?
No, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
There we go.
Let's hit 'em.
All right, brother. Appreciate it, man. Good luck. I'll see you soon. Charlie?
You know me.
What do you mean? I know you.
Second choice. Whoever
Second choice, Charlie.
Second favorite.
No, second choice, Charlie.
Sovereignty. That's my pick.
5-1 right now.
The 18, yeah. So 5-1 was the morning line second. Morning line second.
I know it's an easy type of angle, but I read Ortiz is going to be in my action. I mean, he has dominated, the Saratoga scene, and
he is on who?
And I've seen him win consistently with horses that now they're going to bet him no matter, it's like in regular meets. They're going to bet him no matter who he's on because he's got a shot. But I've seen him beat lower odds horses consistently, just based on that. Look, the jockey can win or lose this thing for you because there's so much tactical.
I think this is the most important jockey race of the year, every year. I
would agree.
I would agree.
The best horse doesn't win all the time here. Because it takes a luck. It's so different from every other horse. I mean, when we have a 10-horse field on a normal day, say it's the 5th race at Santa Anita, or the 7th race at Saratoga. Maybe that's a bad comparison because Saratoga fields are much deeper than they are in Santa Anita. Del Mar has much deeper fields. But just say a random race, 10-horse field is a lot. That's a lot. This is 20.
Right.
So you got all kinds of things that can happen.
You got to get a clean trip, and it's difficult to get to that first turn. It's a stampede to the first turn. We talked about how you can get squeezed in there, but if you're on the rail, but if you got to break from the far outside, you got to make a decision. Do you want to move to the front? Do you want to try to get that early fraction really quick and get to the lead so that you are assured a clean trip and expend that energy? Or can you get your horse comfortable? Can you get him in there where he's not getting a lot of mud kicked up in his face, and you can get him where he can get a clean trip and get into that? To me, the first 22 seconds of this thing are about as important, 22, 23 seconds of this thing are about as important as any part of the race to get your horse in position and not either expend all that energy to get up to the front if he doesn't have it, or get him in a position where he's not taking a lot of mud in his face. Getting him settled in, I think, is the biggest deal. So we'll see. I always love the run for the roses. It's a lot of fun. Good.
Some people it's only bet they'll make all year.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, horse racing, in a lot of markets is not nearly as big as it once was, but the Derby still commands that.
So Michael's giving you a $60 try box that it'll probably pay around $5,000 if it hits. Chris Macero is giving you a try box in exacta box. We're looking at that's going to be like 5 figures. I'm sorry, a super that he's given you. So
think of it this way, okay? 937 Michael's top three to if you just want to bet horses to win, 937 Drew Brees, Bobby Hebert, Taysom Hill. Easy peasy.
379. That's what you said.
Yeah, the three. Well, he gave him 937 in that order. So Drew Brees, Bobby Hebert, Taysom Hill. I really shouldn't give Saints out, maybe, but easy with
the last 3 white players for the Saints.
They were just the first 3. They were
Morton
the first
Anderson was 7 too, right?
He was. It's just the first 3 names I came up with.
Who else had 9 besides Breeze?
With the Saints, nobody. I could have said Joe Burrow, I guess. I can remember that too.
No, but the Saints theme is good.
Yeah.
So if you want to LSU, it's Burrow, Odell, Honey Badger.
I would have said Kevin Falk with 3, but okay. Yeah. That
all eyes on 3.
Yeah.
So Burrow, Falk,
Falk,
Badger.
Matthew. Yeah, that works too. Easy to remember.
There you go, Charlie.
Yeah, see, we're
So
on
if they hit, they get you NIL boost.
That's it. That's it. We're brought to you by the Thibodeau Store. Mother's Day is coming up.
Oh,
here.
don't just take mom to dinner. Well, that's nice and everything. You got to get some of this outdoor furniture at the Thibodeau Store. Next level. Hey, this just in. Ain't nobody gonna love you. No woman gonna love you like your mama. Okay, so take care of mom and go get her some stuff over at the Thibodeau Store. Some outdoor furniture. That was it. Cypress.
Yeah, this is custom made Cypress furniture. They do rockers, they do gliders, they do swings, they do benches. All of these things are available at both the Thibodeau Store and the Pierre Port Store, their sister property. You can get out and get these things. Also, a huge selection of outdoor grills right now, and the Cajun cooking specialty soft cookware. You can have that shipped right to your door. Go online and order that at doitbest.com/Thibodeau Store. But if you're in the area, 900 St. Patrick Highway, really owe it to yourself to stop in and take a look at the huge selection of cookware that they have. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online it's doitbest.com/Thibodeau Store. Back here to wrap things up at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather appreciate.
Whenever you're ready, Jordan.
Okay. It's rolling.
This is Charles Hannigrove. Join us for a Cinco de Mayo edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Burbank at Nicholson. We'll be talking about the SEC baseball weekend, the winner of the Kentucky Derby, and we're getting your – hang on, let me do that again. This is Charles Hannigrove. Join us for a Cinco de Mayo edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Burbank at Nicholson. We'll be recapping a big weekend in SEC baseball, plus the winner of the Kentucky Derby. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Monday on Cinco de Mayo from Modesto, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Get Moss, Max, and Less Tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
LSU and Texas A&M tonight, weather permitting in the forecast. I got to warn you, ain't great.
Really?
They're supposed to go at 6, but it's what I'm looking at is not promising, and could move that thing back or even into tomorrow. The good news is the weather's supposed to be out of there by the time the game starts tomorrow afternoon, so I wouldn't rule out 2 on Saturday. That could easily happen. It's supposed to start at 2:00 tomorrow. So we'll see.
We expected a feisty series, huh?
Yes, A&M really needs this. I think LSU's still chasing 19 or 20. These are not must-win games for LSU. If they lose this series, it's not the end of the world. You'd love to go over there and get it. For A&M, they really got to have these, I think. You're probably going to sweep Missouri next weekend, but like we said, they may fall backwards into 1. And they got 8 conference wins, and they got to get to. I think they got to get to 13 to, put themselves in a good position to be in the NCAA tournament. That 13, I think you don't have to go to Hoover and at least win 1. But if you win 12, if you go 4-5 in the last 9 games, that's going to make it really, really tough. And Florida's in the same boat, and Mississippi State's 1 game back of that. So those are the 3. Those are the 3 that I think have really the most on the line this weekend in the league. LSU's in really good shape. If they go get 1 here, and you get a couple against Arkansas at home,
Good shape
that'll be
for
a tough. Good shape for top 8. Yeah,
yeah, they're all right.
And you can get 2 at South Carolina. So you'd like to win out, obviously every game you can, but it's not going to be the end of the world if they lose 2 out of 3. Sweep would put them in trouble. But,
Charlie, I was looking at the overall, seeds, to win the whole thing. And, the LSU team kind of, we have such a high standard here. We want a little bit more kind of deal. But, man, there's none of them that, this team's clearly better than LSU. This team, it's just, there's some balance there. I mean, Texas is by far the best resume in college baseball. Are they perfect?
No.
Did you watch last night? They're $2 dogs tonight.
And they lost Jared Spencer.
The ace. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, you lose your ace 3/4 of the way through the season, and man, and they've won so many 1-run games. Does that come back to the pack, this season, or does it wait till next season? Those tend to balance out over time.
I know you said earlier when you talked about evaluating their series, what happened. Okay, they won 3 1-run games against their arch rival Texas A&M, but also with the Schlossnagel element jumping over from 1 win away from giving A&M their first national championship to coaching their rival. And I watched the games. There was some emotion there.
Sure,
I just can't. You cannot convince me that that was not an emotional letdown last night.
Absolutely,
you can't. I'm sorry. I know there's no way to prove it, but I mean, we don't think about it, and I'll have to, admit fault. Never came into our handicapping conversation when we gave out Texas, but this is one where you look back and say, oh no, this was, they weren't ready. They weren't ready to compete at that level that Arkansas was ready last night. I mean, they had all them Jazz Fest flags going on at ball, man. It was pop. They were just, and it reminded me of it was kind of a regional type of atmosphere when they got on them, man. That crowd got into it, and it snowballed, and it was something.
And I didn't look this up either, but when's the last time Texas has been to Fayetteville to play baseball? I mean, these are old. This is going way back to the Southwest
I
Conference.
think they still play when they were Big 12 occasionally.
Okay.
I think they did play occasionally.
So this is first time they're coming in as an SEC team. They were the number 1 team in the country. Yeah, bomb was juiced.
Just as here's the thing. Here's a concern for LSU going to College Station. A&M is the way more needy team here.
Yeah.
Arkansas was the way more needy team. Texas got all kinds of cushion. You just talked about. They could lead the rest of the way,
They really
maybe be a
could.
top 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So the more desperate team is A&M, and I know that you've acknowledged that as well. That this is going to be tough.
I think it is for sure.
But you get through. You take 2 or 3, man. Hey,
2 out of 3 this weekend would be a godsend.
And who else has that option? We talk about it's tricky. Do you use one of the 2 relievers, to close out game 1, or do you come back in 2, or do you have them saved up for game 3 to start? Guess what? Ain't a whole lot of teams out there have that club in their bag.
No, A&M's got one of those guys. LSU's got 2, and Case and Evans can't pitch tonight. I can't imagine after throwing 85 pitches on Sunday, they'll use him tomorrow and or Sunday. But you got Zach Cowan ready to go. He didn't throw nearly as many pitches on Sunday as Evans did, so they're in pretty good shape there. Greg Popovich done. He announced that he is moving into the San Antonio front office. He had a minor stroke in November and left it to Mitch Johnson, who was the acting head coach. He'll take over on a full-time basis. 5 NBA championships, NBA's career leader in wins, 3-time coach of the year. And the Spurs, they made a big jump, obviously, with Victor Wembanyama. They got up to 34 wins this year. They've got a 6% chance to get the number 1 pick in the draft. They've got a 26% chance to get a top 4 pick in the draft. And this is a pretty stacked draft. Would you imagine if they got Cooper Flagg to go along with Victor? This would be one of the most attractive jobs in the league, and they got a 6% chance. That's about what the Pelicans had when they got Zion. I think it was 6 or 7% chance.
Kid from UConn also just got the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
for the San Antonio. I forget his name.
Yeah,
but I mean, no, the
Castle.
The future's bright.
Yeah.
In San Antonio. Sure.
Thanks to the folks here at Ruffino's for being our Friday host. On Monday, we are at Modesto. It is Cinco de Mayo. So we'll be
Battle of Puebla.
Looking forward to that. For Jimmy, Jordan Kinch is back in the studio. I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Go ahead.
Live at lunch.
All right, you guys have a good weekend.
Thanks, Jordan. Have a good weekend.
All right, see you.
The markets, ups and downs.